Hello and welcome to another update video about ETH. ETH seems to be caught in this correction that we have been tracking for a couple of weeks now. Yeah, basically since the 9th of December, and we've talked about this higher B wave that we are probably working on right now. Well, ETH is working on that. It's a bit ambiguous down here to say, okay, is the wave A, did that finish here? That was on the 13th of December, or down here on the 18th. And that leads to two different wave counts for this rally here. And this rally could therefore there are just two patterns. There's a WXY and there's an ABC structure. Okay, so there's yellow and white. To keep it very simple, before we zoom in and try to understand this, in the yellow wave count, which is the WXY, the top could already be in. We're simply just waiting for a signal that we're coming down in this C wave. In both scenarios, I would like to see the price come down once more in wave C of that wave 2 correction that we're in. Bear in mind, a wave 2 correction typically creates fear. Okay, it creates fear, it scares people, and in this corrective structure, in a C wave, we could see quite a rapid sell-off. I'm not saying we will, but in a wave 2, sometimes the wave C can be quite aggressive, and it is a pattern that can scare people. In contrast to wave 4, which of course it could also scare a few people, but it's more like the wave 4 is more like, okay, it's boring people out, whereas the wave 2 is scaring people out. ETH still sort of behind Bitcoin, in its performance. We see a situation here in which, in this white wave count, the price might form one more high. That's what I suggested in the earlier videos. Ideal structure would lead here to one more high. Really anything above $2,345. Sort of ideally, it would reach sort of 2,400, maybe a little higher. But it doesn't need it, okay, because there's the yellow wave count in which we could have topped already. But to be honest, that doesn't even matter if we get one more high or not. I mean, there's no long trade setup here, not one that I at least can recognize clearly. This would simply be a wave 5 of C of B, so basically just a little bit higher, before ideally the price will start to trend down in this overall C wave. In reality, there are a few patterns that can eventually play out here that could become relevant, but again, we can only analyze what we see, especially in corrections. Wave counts change a lot. They are quite messy, and there are I think more than 12 scenarios that can play out, 12 patterns, and then you've got patterns within patterns, so it can get quite messy. But we know that this happens all the time in corrections. They morph, they transform, and corrections are always messy. So the way to deal with this is to stay in a time frame in which these messy structures don't even matter, okay? Where you can avoid all that chop. For example, you can zoom out, and basically add positions for the third wave rally. Okay, but we're not even close to that support area. So support starts at $2,019, goes down to 1677. Only below 1677, I would assume that that the bear market might come back. Okay, but there will be other support levels below. But for now, this looks to me just like an A, B, C structure. Could the overall low already be in? I mean, technically that's possible, but I would need to see a proper 5-wave move to the upside to confirm this. And then obviously we also want that 3-wave pullback. Basically the 5 waves tell us that the trend has shifted to the upside, from a downtrend to an uptrend in this short-term pattern. But typically a wave 2 would reach minimally the 38.2 retracement. Therefore, I'd like it to get there eventually. But, looking at this structure, we can say that, yeah, from a bullish point of view, this here might have been a wave 1, 2. So basically, I told you that in the last video that we have here, this up and down move is a leading diagonal. So we could have a wave 1 here, wave 2. then this would be A, B, C in wave 3. Then we need another 4 and 5. There's a little bit more movement that's needed for the price to even, suggest only that a lasting low could have been established already. But then the move up now would be part of a third wave. It doesn't really look like a third wave yet, so I would still prefer another low as shown. That's my update about Ether. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.